So I want to talk about Fort Tilden, which is one I saw by myself, and this one actually won the narrative competition. So I got to be careful about how I talk about this one because I saw it very late at night. I was tired. It was the last film I saw on, I think, Saturday, so it had been a long day. And so I'm trying to like separate how tired I was versus it's kind of hard to separate the quality of the film from how tired I was. The other thing about this film is that it's sort of focused on two main characters, two women, and the plot of the film is they're trying to get to the beach. They met a guy at a party the night before, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go hang out at this beach called Fort Tilden in I think it's in Brooklyn somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't know the geography of New York. I'm sorry, but they don't really have a good way to get there, and it's like a Sunday, and the bus doesn't go that far out on Sunday or something, and so they don't have a car, and only one of them has a bike, and so it's this whole sort of thing where they're trying to get to this beach to meet this guy, but they both like the same guy. They both think that this guy likes them, and they're not really talking about that aspect of it. They're sort of talking around it like, oh, yeah, and when I get there, I'm going to talk to him about this, and oh, yeah, I'm going to talk to him about this, and it's like it's clear they both know that the other person it thinks that they're going to get this guy, but they aren't talking about it. They're sort of I guess frenemies, I guess you would say. They're roommates. They don't really seem like friends that much. They don't really even seem to like each other that much. But this sort of they just kind of keep going and doing all these sort of silly things, and no matter what they're doing, no matter how stupid it seems like what they're doing, no matter how silly their plan is, no matter how much they might hurt or cause problems for someone else, they're going to keep going and try to get to the beach. And they try to they don't have enough money for a cab, but they call up a cab service, and it's this weird cab service with just a random guy in a car that wants $100 to take them there, and it's a tough film for me because I really hated the two main characters, and I always have a hard time with films like that. It's hard for me to really enjoy a film unless I can sort of feel like there's some value in the characters, like there's something they're working for that I can get behind, and I just felt the whole time where I was like, I just don't like either of these people, and I really wish they would just go home, and that would be the end of the movie. Like, that was what I was hoping for. I mean, the two girls are just so naive, and like their solution to every problem is, let me call my dad for money. And they sort of act like they're a little conflicted about calling their dad for money, but they're not really conflicted. They still do it. And I mean, there's a lot of laughs in the film. There's some funny stuff in the film. But just these two characters, I really couldn't stand either of them. Maybe that's the point. I'm not sure. But at the end of the film, it's hard to really say – it's hard to walk out of the film feeling good because at the end of it, it's like the film was almost set up like, okay, now they're friends again. Now this sort of obstacle is out of the way and they're friends again. But I frankly don't think these two should be friends. Yeah. I think they're sort of they're friends for bad reasons, and they're not going to be friends for long. So, I mean, they have some sort of they have some revelations about who they are and what they should be thinking about in the future, but I don't know. It seems pretty shallow to me. So
what award did it win?
It won like the narrative feature competition. Okay. So it won the main narrative feature award. Okay. There was like 6 or 7 films in that competition.
Yeah, I think there was 8.
So we also saw 8. So we also saw I Believe in Unicorns, which was in the same competition.
And then Animals was also in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and who directed this? Do you have that?
It was Sarah Violet Bliss.
Okay.
Charles Rogers.
Charles Rogers. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff in the movie. There's a lot of good stuff in the movie. But at the end of it, I was just like, I'm glad it's over. Now, I don't know if I was glad it's over because that meant I could go back to the hotel and sleep, or if I was really just not into the movie. So it's hard for me to separate the two at this point.
Based off of sort of knowing, I mean, being with you this whole time during the podcast, this just doesn't seem like your kind of movie the more you describe it.
Yeah.
And, I think, just based off of the longer description in the book, it definitely seems like, there's an obvious, it says here, says the realization that their life skills are more limited than they should be. So it just seems to me like they're trying to say something about maybe that kind of generation of people.
Yeah.
That, they're maybe not as connected as they think they are.
Yeah.
And can't really survive without maybe technology or human interaction, I guess.
Yeah, that's the other thing that drove me nuts about this movie. So they can't find this particular beach. They don't know how to get there. They don't have any way to get there, except they're on their phones the entire movie. The entire movie is based around them texting this boy and telling him how cool it's going to be when they get there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So that for me was just like, sorry, this is now just a farce, and maybe it's supposed to be a farce. I don't know, but it just made no sense to me. All right.
A Place for Film is recorded at WFIU Studios in Bloomington, Indiana.